Greetings, traders. It is I, Abdul Shabazz, and this is some real change stock options trading journey. And
Bluetooth
today,
connected.
Tuesday, March the 26th, I want to thank you guys for being here and showing up. I know I'm running just a little late, but had some IRS stuff I had to deal with on the phone with the I, the R, and the S. Being patient for you guys to show up. I came a little bit late today. Very interesting. A nice gap up, 521.2 area. A lot of pressure from the Bears to bring it down, but the Bulls simply not having it right now. Came right down to pre-market low, bounced right off of that, the 520.8 area. Taking our time. First 5 minutes is very volatile. First 15 minutes can trick you. But after that, we allow the chart some time to develop. It becomes a lot easier to find an opportunity for a great trade. Huh? Wa alaikum assalam, Hamza. Good morning, brother. Good morning, team. A little late today. I had to deal with the IRS, but not too late because I don't like to trade before 10 o'clock anyway. But definitely had to deal with the IRS. You know how stressful that can be. Good morning, Lance, Dan, and Hamza. Looking at this roller coaster ride we have had. Very nice play late yesterday. Nice gap up to the 2 to the 521.3 area. Flush down to pre-market low. Not once, but twice. There is a lot of liquidity here with these bulls. Definitely will look for potential shorts if we get underneath this number. Get beneath this area, the 520.8 area, because there is a lot of liquidity that has been provided. Let's look at a little bit larger scale. So we do see, if we look back to Friday, that from this area to 521, we had a very nice climb to the 522, only to dump at the last minute. And that dump exceeded post-market and pre-market. We've climbed our way back to a magnet of the 520.5 area. Dipped a little bit yesterday. And had a very nice gap up this morning, but right now, a lot of indecision. So, absolutely no problem with sitting and waiting. Is that green hammer or is that too high in the market? Well, a green hammer technically takes place at the bottom of a downtrend, and this wouldn't necessarily be the bottom of a downtrend because we had a gap up, we had a sell-off, but the sell-off is not a trend. So no, that would not be a textbook or technical hammer. The candle itself is still a hammer candle, but it doesn't fall in line with the criteria necessary to potentially take that trade. Same thing as if you look here. This is a hammer, this is a hammer, but it does not meet the requirements to take the trade of a hammer. Now, for example, here you see a hammer, and this would be at the bottom of a downtrend. You see the market started here at the 523, so this is a down trend, and then the hammer here stops the downtrend and actually reverses it temporarily. Same thing here, a little bit of a downtrend, another hammer stops the downtrend, reverses it temporarily. So for the textbook part of it, it has to be on the bottom of the downtrend, and this is not the bottom of the downtrend. This is actually a gap up and consolidation. And this is typically some sideways action that is happening right now. And again, this is a Tuesday. Contracts tend to expire on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So on a Tuesday, we definitely want to use textbook
Bluetooth
setups,
disconnected.
A plus, B plus setups only. Okay, it has my interest now. But if it's gonna be good now, it'll be good later. It's been here before. So we do know there is a heavy potential bear presence here at the bull presence. It's a heavy bull presence here at the 520.8 area. Heavy bull presence here. And once again, the bulls come in this area. Step up. I guess it's pretty much safe to say in this market, all dips are bought up. Very tight range so far. Patience is required. A little less than a minute and a half before we get to 10 o'clock candle. Don't want to force anything. I am sitting on my hands. Does anybody have any thoughts, suggestions, potential trade ideas that they would like to share? Any potential trade ideas? It appears that the volume is a little low today. Has anyone else noticed that? The relative volume. 521 call. Looking at the 520.9 area as strong support. Okay. Lance, on that 521 call, where do you like it at? Yeah, low volume. What do you like it at? Do you like it at the 521.4? Or are you looking for a break and a retest? What would be your indicator to take that call there? Just out of curiosity. I called out the 521.4, and that's the one I'm asking. Are you saying that you were getting a call past the 521.4? That you were getting a 521 call? Now, are you looking just for the price to break above the 521.4? Or are you looking for a retest of the 521.2, truly turning this into an area of support? We have been here before, and when we got here, we rejected. So clearly, I'm sure you're looking for a breakout above that 524. So the question is, being that in the past here this morning, we've gotten to that area and retraced heavily, would you like to see a breakout and a retracement and then go? Very interesting. Now we've gotten all the way up to the 522 pre-market. We've gotten all the way up here pre-market. So if you look at it from a pre-market standpoint, okay, from the pre-market, we have come down from the 522. We based here at the 521. So if you look at pre-market also in this picture, this scenario, doesn't look too promising for a call. Now there is a lot of liquidity from pre-market bears that could be forced to cover. So with this action this morning and this very low volume that I'm seeing right here, 5-minute chart, this volume I just don't see enough liquidity to take it any higher, even still than a 522. So now you have to pull out your tools and look at your risk versus reward. So if you did get above that 521.4, as you stated, where would you take it to? Obviously the 522, because that would be our first area of resistance and pre-market high. So naturally there would be another, possible retest at a pre-market high as well. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, even here on the Heikinashi, on the line chart, you can see that we are just consolidating in a very tight range. Really right now from the 521.4 to the 520.8. So very tight range right now. And we've reached the 10 o'clock candle, the first 30-minute candle. Let's take a look at it. Gave us indecision. The first 30-minute candle gave us indecision. So I can see why Lance will possibly wait above the 521.4 to get in a call. But I'm going to need to see a more clearer sign. Now, Jan asked about a green hammer. This was a hammer right here, and this was a down. Oh yeah, I showed you this already. But this is how it looks on the 30-minute chart. This was yesterday. You can also see it on the 30-minute chart as well. This was a good trade. Not a whole lot today, so far, that is. Doesn't take long for the market to respond. So at any moment, anything can happen. This looks like a handle on the inverse cup overnight. Yep, I think so too. And this is that inverse cup that Lance is talking about, guys. Inverse cup. And this is a handle that is being formed right now. Let me pull up my other algos for you. I too, Lance, was potentially looking at a call in this area, as you can see indicated by my arrow, that I was looking for a call once we got outside and broke above this selling algo. And we are out of this selling algo. We're just not out of it convincingly. We're not out of it convincingly. So that has me on the sidelines as well for a call. Looking to potentially take one to get back into this buying yellow algo as well. But right now we're outside of the selling algo, but we're not outside convincingly. So I too am sitting on hands. In fact, I'll be right back, guys. I have to go check on something real quick. I was late this morning, guys, talking to the IR and the S. Boogity Bob. Yeah, buddy. And there is that breakout, Lance. And technically, we did have a breakout and retest. Here was the breakout here. Here was the retest here. This is a legitimate move if you would like to take it. It's a legitimate move. I'm just not convinced yet. Right now, what I want to do now is take a look at
Bluetooth connected.
At the option chain and see how it's moving. That will also reinforce my thoughts. For starters, 521 calls, I don't like it. From what I can see right now off the bat, the 521 calls are not moving. So switching to the 520 calls, see what they're doing. But again, I'm going to be a little bit patient. Speaking of those guys, do you have a game plan for building a business for trading? No, I don't. And yes, I do. Open to suggestions. Myself and Charles have spoke on that. As far as a game plan for developing the channel, but I don't know specifically for building a business for trading. Something I definitely open to. Would like a little bit more knowledge about. Right now, I'm just trying to. I need some suggestions. Okay, but that's something that I will definitely look into. And definitely setting it up as a business. I actually know a great CPA appreciate for that. Definitely get some references and see if I can even get him to drop by, and talk to us. Because we're all gonna need it eventually. With all of us having the goals for, yeah, it's a possible shooting star, but it's not really at the top of the uptrend because we're consolidating here. So we're kind of in a lull right now. So it's not textbook because it's truly not an uptrend. I mean, the market price has gone up, but it's not an uptrend. In fact, the market is trending sideways right now. We're talking 521.5 to 529. I'm looking at that option price too. 522 puts. Taking a look at that as well. Right now I'm watching how the option chain is moving. I don't like it. And I don't like it. If you look at the actual, I have the 521 puts pulled up. Let me pull it up right here for you so you can see real quick. Pull it up right here. These are 522 puts. And that's exactly why, Dan, I left it alone. I love a shooting star. But it wasn't textbook. It wasn't textbook at all. Look at the 30-minute chart. This shows you where we're at, guys. It shows you the indecision. It shows you the sideways action. It shows you the lull that we are in. Very, very clearly. Which is why none of us should be involved in a trade whatsoever. We trade with confirmation, continuation, or we sit on the sidelines. But one of the first things we do before we take a trade is we identify the area that a potential trade could take place. And the area for us is the area the bulls will cover for profit or loss, or an area the bears will cover for profit or a loss. And right now, I only see one area where the bulls will cover. That is beneath the 520. This area here. I'm going to go ahead and set an alarm. The last time we got to this area, the alarm went off, but the stock bounced. Did it once, did it twice, did it the third time. Once, twice, third time. Now, for a call, we have to look at what is our immediate potential resistance. This is a huge, I mean a huge grizzly bear candle. So there is a lot of liquidity if the bulls are able to incite covering in any way, shape, form, or fashion from these bears. So it's very important that you know what you're up against before you decide to take that leap. In my opinion, the stock will need to get to the 521.6 to have enough momentum to potentially start these bears covering. Until then, the bears currently still have edge. Friday's bears specifically have the edge. Friday's bears at closing. Monday the price popped up. This was more so low-hanging fruit. It popped up. Wanted to attempt to close the gap. Got as close as it possibly could. Once, twice. But after that, the bears stepped back in and crushed the bulls. Now, of course, the bulls looked and viewed this as an opportunity to buy lower prices, and that's exactly what they did. Post-market and pre-market. Bought up these lower prices. The bears stepped back in, slammed them down once, slammed them down twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. However, the bulls have been absorbing and buying all of the lower prices that the bears Friday have been taking the market to. But they're not buying with enough strength to sweat these bears. I've identified that area as the 521.6. That would be the area where there would be potentially some nervousness on the part of Friday's bears that could potentially start them to covering, or they could double down. So we will see. And now, in my opinion, and of course this is not financial advice, I would need to see the price get over 521.5 right now for me to potentially be. I'm looking for an A+ setup. So we're still acknowledging what's happening. But just because we identify what's happening doesn't mean they deserve our money in a trade. So I just want to point that out as well. So being that this is also an area where the bears might potentially start covering, this is also an area where they might also reinforce selling pressure. So for me, I'm going to stand aside and potentially wait for a much bigger move. I'll be right back. You guys watch to see how things unfold. Thank you for tuning in.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Greatly appreciate it. I'll be right back. back and I see exactly, see what I mean? It was this area that I said that I would need to see us get to very solidly to put some pressure on Friday's Bears. That at this 521.6 area, this is an area where the Bears could potentially start getting squeezed. What happened? The stock price reached that area, but instead of the Bears getting squeezed, they doubled down. They came back in with force and dropped the price yet again. Right back to this magnet area of 521 to where we're currently at. Good morning, Aaron. And yet again, we still see that the bulls are present. What a battle that's taking place, guys, this morning. What a battle. Glad we're on the sidelines watching it. That is the truth.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay, yes, that was me opening up my assault rifle, pulling it out of the case. We're at the 10:30 candle. Seeing how this 10:30 candle comes into play. And as I pointed out before, very heavy bullish presence in this area. Very heavy bullish presence. Let's go ahead and identify it real quick. We'll do it real light. Whoa. 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 Well, googity bob. Oh, I'm interested. But not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. No, I'm interested. But not yet. Not yet. I do have a 522 put pulled up. I like the 522 puts. I'm still not a big, huge fan of the way they're moving. Let's see how this is. 130. That was a nice little jump. But you would have had to nail that. You would have had to nail that in order to get it. That's exactly why I didn't mention anything yet, guys. There were a lot of early bears who probably identified the same area as I did, that us getting beneath this to potentially start the bulls to covering. But the last thing you want to do is be the early bear for the early bull. And of course, as Dan and Lance said, you don't want to be the late one either. But with so much trickery going on this morning, I had a feeling of this very false breakout, which is why I did not mention it, nor did I get in a trade. So I am still on the sideline. This is a classic washout long that is taking place right now. A lot of bears in this to be used as liquidity to go back up. A lot of bears can be used as liquidity to take the price higher. Yes, we are under VWAP. But with this huge tail, huge tail, this is a classic indication of bulls hiding in their skin. Good morning, Aaron. Thank you for being here with us, buddy. I want to show you my other algos here. Again, still not what I'm looking for. That continuation for me to be comfortable taking a call. It's not textbook. Anything is textbook. The market has to move, but we're looking for clean setups to get in. I don't see any right now. I just don't. Looking at risk versus reward. I don't see it. I would have liked to see a close below this area and then a continuation candle. That would have been ideal for me, but we didn't get it. So instead, what we got was bears hiding in bull skin. Instead, what we got was bulls hiding in bear skin. That's what we did get. So it's definitely safe not to go short here. And if anything, to just drop my area of interest down a little bit now. I'll put an alarm there. Okay, I like it now. I don't know yet. I just don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't like it. I'm sitting on the sidelines. I have no problem letting all of this go by for a bigger move, a more clearer move, a move off of an A plus or setup, A plus or B plus setup. I don't like it. Does anybody else have any thoughts, suggestions, ideas? Me? And again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Sharing with you what my thoughts are, potentially. I view this as a trap. And therefore, I will be remaining on the sidelines for now. Glad we identified where the power is. The power is with Friday's bears. This has clearly been shown all morning long. However, there are a lot of bulls who keep buying up these lower prices. Want to hold it. Imagine buying it 520 and you want to hold it till it gets all the way back to 522, 524. Understood why the bulls are buying up these lower prices, not allowing the market to go any further. But this is also a lot of liquidity that can be used to take the price down lower if these bulls are motivated to cover. And if they do, it won't just be a flash thing. It will be a continuous thing. We'll get that close below this area, and then we'll get that continuation candle. This is the money. This is the money candle. Okay. And if you look at today, we have hardly had any continuation candles in either direction. This was not a continuation candle because the very next candle retraced to use resistance as support before it took off. Got very close to the 521.6, and that's where these Friday bears started coming back in, crashing the boards, as they say in basketball, setting the price down. But right now we have a range. Let's identify what the range is. 75-cent range. 75-cent range, guys. That's all this is. 75-cent range. Very well said, Lance. Our power is in our patience. Very well said. Thank you for saying it. I can't promise you every day will be exciting. But I can promise you that we will show up and take a look. Yesterday, this is what I was looking at at the 12:45, 1 o'clock hour. I just didn't see anything worth getting back on the air for. However, if you look at the 30-minute chart, the 30-minute chart did potentially give you an opportunity here, showing you a very nice green hammer on the 30-minute chart. And that's why sometimes it is absolutely better to back up and look at a larger time frame. Also here on the 30-minute chart, you can see a little bit more in detail Friday's bears. And it is in this area that these, we'll do it like this. This is the area for Friday's bears. This is Friday's bear area. And they are defending. Monday, gap down, tried to come back up, bears pushed it down, tried to come back up, bears pushed it down. But we know those bulls, they love those prices. Where we stand right now currently. Go ahead and close this gun.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Well, let's at least go ahead and pay some bills. Well, we can't say thank God it's Monday anymore because it is not Monday. We definitely want to thank T-shirts and traders.co, professional risk taker. This is exactly what we are, professional risk takers. Thank you, traders.co. And thank you all for joining us. And though it hasn't been very exciting this morning, I still would like to ask you to hit the like button. Greatly appreciate that. Still very slow day, even according to the daily candle. Let's take a look at the daily candle right now. On the daily, we had the gap up, but we have a very small doji representing indecision. The market truly does not know what it wants to do. However, we are at the 5-day SMA. This is the 5, the red is the 20. So overall, on the daily aspect, we are still trending up. Still trending up. For today, we have a very small body doji. For now, that is. For now. Something is definitely happening in this area. The market has never been in this area before. The market S&P 500 has never been this high before. It almost balances out the playing field. No one truly has an edge over someone else in uncharted territory. You only have an edge if you've been there before. If you haven't been there before, it's new discovery for us all. Therefore, situations like this, whoever makes the least amount of mistakes wins. So this is an area where we want to make the least amount of mistakes. Looking at the handy dandy line chart, see us back and forth. Clearly see if I go from bottom to where we at here. Very small moves. Very small. That's showing 50 cents right there. Wow. Nothing wrong with scratch day. Nothing wrong with a scratch day. Even looking at risk versus reward, even underneath the 520.6, the next support area is the 520.45. Not a lot. And this is the magnet. You see that? This is the magnet. Got underneath it, got above it, but always somehow came right back to it. Got underneath it, got above it. Question is, will we come back to it? 9 minutes left in today's show. And that's one thing, guys, that I will give myself a little credit on. And I know when to walk away. Right, it's getting tighter and tighter. The range is getting tighter and tighter. We're talking five right now. We're talking 521 to 521.40. Yeah, that's a little tight. That's a little tight. Little tight, guys. Definitely, guys, would like to recommend that you, going forward for the rest of the day, how about the Baltimore Bridge collapse? Are you for real? Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed after ship crash. Francis Scott Key, that name sounds very familiar. I think he's the one who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. Wow, 6 people missing. Baltimore Bridge collapsed as late as 6 people still missing as 2 pulled from water. Ship issued mayday before crash. Unbelievable. Always something going on. Video shows moments when Baltimore's ship, when Baltimore's Key Bridge collapsed. Here's the ship right here. Oh, he's coming right at. Ooh wee! Got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Googity Bob! You've got to be kidding me. Look at the ship. Oh, okay. But he did say that they were calling Mayday, meaning that their steering has gone out. For those of you who might not know, if you ever seen the TV show The Deadliest Catch, I was a Deadliest Catch commercial fisherman for over 20 years. Yes, everything I do is dangerous. Trading, fishing. I used to live on the ocean and visit land. I'm just grateful weren't no cars above here. But they saying 4 pulled out of the water. How did they pull out the water? Did they come off the boat? Crews searched the water for multiple people. Where is the multiple people coming from? The wheelhouse on this ship is right here in the back, right here. This is the wheelhouse where the captain and the majority of the crew live. 7 cars on the bridge. Wow, wow, wow. That's who's missing. Unbelievable. Mm, mm, mm. Man, that thing fell just like a. Wow, wow, wow. Can anybody imagine the bill? I'm not trying to, I didn't mean to laugh. I'm just out of, I don't know what the right word is, but just out of the thought of what the bill is going to be for that. Oh, 'cause somebody got to pay for that. My goodness. The bill for this. I pray that those people who fell in the water at 1:30, wow. Several people reported to have been on the bridge, including a dive team. The Coast Guard said multiple response units have been deployed. Mm-hmm. Always something to tell you. Well, thank you for bringing us current with that, so we can add them to our list of prayers. A lot of prayers going out, a lot of thoughts, a lot of concerns all over the world. I have this little handy dandy tool because I live in Virginia, and I too live right by the water. And we have this tool that if your car ever goes into the water, you'll be able to bust your windshield, be able to get out successfully. Something definitely very handy to have. They actually have a new one out now where you just press a button. Mine is like a little hammer with a little ping on the end of it. So you have to swing that to get it to work. Now they have some where you don't even have to swing them. You just press a button and a projectile ejects. Unfortunately, I'm seeing some of the criminals use them to break in people's cars very quickly. A glass breaker and a window cutter. A little device like this. It cuts the seatbelt to free you, just like butter. And then you press a button and it shatters the whole glass. Where the old one used to be like a little hammer. They have that new one, these things. Hammer DX glass breaker and seatbelt cutter. unfortunately, if you ever do fall into the water, cut your seatbelt with this end, and this end shatters the glass. Yep, show it to you. Use it in the corners of the window. Something very handy to have. How that works. Well, let's show you this. I think they got it in the water. Right here. Yeah. Here we go.
We want to check out what one driver did in Northern California yesterday, heading straight into standing water like it's nothing. Then, of course, the SUV started to stall out. And just imagine if the water was a little bit deeper. You also don't know what's in that water. And being in a submerged vehicle,
Man,
quickly
I
turns
mean,
into
I
a
know
life-or-death
Forerunners
situation. They obviously were not
are the
submerged,
go-to
but
thing.
if
But
you are, what do you do?
what was the
Here, I'll
purpose of
tell you
that?
what
Just
I
to
know.
drive in there and get stuck?
Flooding is the leading weather-related killer, and more than half of those deaths happen in vehicles. I'm going to take this car and put it in that water and get out to show you how to get out alive in case this happens to you. For safety, I'm working with Rick LaProvost, the dive master for St. Petersburg Fire Rescue. On my first attempt to get a feel for what happens when the car goes under, I'm wearing an oxygen tank and a mask.
Get real. Here we go.
On today's extended version of Some Real Change, how to save your life or the life of someone you love in the event a ship crashes into a bridge that you might be on.
I can't imagine if you just taken your last breath. So we're gonna come back up. We're ready to come back up, please. Come me back up.
She ready to come back up. She got on the oxygen tank. She freaking out.
Next, we do it for real. I have the oxygen tank and regulator in the car just in case, but I'm confident I know what to do to get out safely.
You're going to need to try the power real quick to get that window down. And if the water's at that level, it'll come in, but it's not flooding in to where you can then use your seatbelt, unclick it or cut it, and break the window, and out you go.
That's actually the device that I have. Well, you have to hit it like a little mallet.
When I hit the water, I lost control almost immediately. So it's important to know the force water has on a vehicle. In effect, for every foot of water, a vehicle weighs 1,500 pounds less. Let's give it another go.
All right, so we're driving into
This time, the dive master stays in the car, showing just how quickly you need to act before the car is entirely full of water.
Seatbelt's already off. So now it's just getting out. How's that waiting?
You have to act quickly. Don't reach for your phone. You need to get out. Take off your seatbelt, get the windows down.
He said don't reach for your phone.
SWO. Seatbelt, windows, out.
Don't reach for your phone. What kind of society have we gotten to where you have to remind somebody of that? Don't reach for your phone now.
You don't have
Well, guys, I've enjoyed today with you.
How to escape from a sinking car. In order to survive in an extreme situation, you'd better make sure you know what to do in advance. After all, when it's crunch time, you might only have seconds to act. There are two very important steps in this unfortunate situation. As soon as the car makes contact with the water, unfasten your seatbelt and roll down the window as fast as you can. Once you've done that, immediately vacate the car through the open window before the vehicle becomes submerged. And that's basically it if there are no unexpected problems. Remember that you'll only have about a minute to complete these 2 steps before the car sinks completely underwater. Do not waste time trying to open the door. It simply will not budge because of
Absolutely,
the force
guys.
of the water
Thank you for
pressing
tuning
on.
in. We will take a look back at the market at 12:45. So I will come back at 12:45 to take a look at the market. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is some real change stock options trading journey. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button on the way out, and let's try to jump back on at 12:45 to see if we have any new developments. SPY being held under the 200 EMA. Thank you for pointing that out to us as well. Cool that the SPY is being held under 200 EMA right now. Very good, valuable information. And we'll look forward to see how this plays out just a little later. I'll be back around 12:45 to see if anything exciting has happened. If so, expect me to come back on. If not, expect me to see you guys tomorrow, God willing. Same channel, same stock. Hopefully a better outcome or something to trade. Either way it goes, I'm grateful for you guys. Bye for now.